WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. Today I have Glencadam, 14-year-old Réserve de Cognac, a Cognac cask-finished Highland single malt Scotch whiskey. Glencadam established 1825. Very big number and very, very important number for them. This is Whiskybase number 172705. At the moment, it's basically in Germany a lot more than any place else, and we have a price of approximately 84 euros, and there were 4,800 bottles of this worldwide. So I'm going to compare it to the Glencadam 10. Why? Because you can basically get 2 of the 10 for 1 of the 14. And I think that's important because we're always going for value for money here, aren't we? It's just not about having the numbers, but actually having not an expensive bottle, but having actually a good bottle. And that's the question of the day. Which one is better? For me and my palate, the 10-year-old, around 42 euros, or here, the 14-year-old, 4 years older. Both of these are non-chilled filtered. Both of these are natural color. Both of these are 46%. 10, 14. Cognac finished. Limousin oak is what they used for this. How long the finish was, no idea. The whiskey geek, the whiskey nerd, the guy who always asks the dumb questions, I, of course, would love to have known how long this was actually matured in the Cognac cask. Was it a week? Was it a month? Was it a year? Was it a decade? Things like that kind of interest me. All right, it says here, these Cognac casks, all right, let's go to the top here. Glencadam Réserve de Cognac has been specially created by our master distiller from Glencadam's historic dunnage warehouses. He has carefully selected single malt distilled in 2006 and matured in exceptional ex-bourbon American oak casks. All right, so exceptional means nothing, and ex-bourbon just means they might have been used once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. All right, so who knows about that? And the single malt in these casks has been expertly married. Well, you put it in a big container, a vat, and you marry it. And then you fill it up into these Cognac casks. And then finished in the finest Cognac casks sourced from the Cognac region in France. These Cognac casks, also known as Carantes casks, are made from prestigious, not just any type of Limousin oak, but prestigious. I hate adjectives like that. Grown in France. These casks impart unique flavors, which give a depth and complexity to our Glencadam whiskey. So, let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the color first of all. 14 years old, it might be a little bit darker. Not much, to be honest. They're very, very pale straw color, both of these. Thank you for having no artificial color added. I really, really do like that. In the bottle, the Cognac has a little bit more of a golden tone. I don't think it comes from the Cognac itself, but rather from the Limousin oak, which is used for these Cognac casks. So on the nose, it's softer and more rounder than the normal 10. There is a little bit more of a honey moment. I have a honey melon, actually. All right, going over to the 10. I get more of a chalky type of mineral moment in comparison. And a lot more of the barley sugars. Here it says, aromatic and inviting with nose of roasted chestnuts, don't get that. And peanut brittle, don't get that. Overlaying with sweet bramble. Bramble is a liqueur, a raspberry liqueur, don't get that. And summer fruit pudding, don't really get that. So basically everything they wrote on the tasting notes I didn't get, which is great. Over here we have lively, intense, grassy freshness, citrus tones with hints of spicy oak. I get all of that. I really agree with the tasting notes there. Here I am apparently not good enough. Yay, looks better. Let's taste it. 46%, 14 years old. There is a certain heatness to this, hotness, a certain heat, a certain hotness, which I was not really prepared for. The 10 is smoother. The 10 is more rounder, more silky. The 14's got some bite. And if they actually picked, I do assume that the master distiller picked these himself. They now have a junior mastered blender, basically. He's a cool guy. I have no idea if he was involved in this or not. But someone picked these casks from 2006, and I actually don't feel that they are as well matured as the 10 were, that on average is put into that blend. There is a sweetness here, and what really doesn't do it for me, it's my own personal problem, is the Limousin oak. There is an oakiness, there's tannins here, and I really don't expect the tannins to be in my Glencadam like that. It's almost a little bit of a harshness of the alcohol, plus the tannins that are a little bit tiny roasted, that really just don't, it just doesn't rock my boat. Is it a bad whiskey? No. I was expecting a B+ whiskey. Oh yeah, wow, cognac, 14-year-old Glencadam, yay! And it's a C whiskey. It's a C, maybe even a C- on a bad day. And that's what kind of disappointed me. If I go to the palate, the notes, it says here, layers of soft almond nougat. I don't get soft at all, I'm sorry. Mocha, I do not like mocha anyways, and fresh crepes mingled with lemon oil. A crepe is what you have at the, at least what we have at a fair, is this hot table, and you put a little bit of batter on it, and you turn it over. It's very, very, it's like a thin waffle, comes from France. With lemon oil, maybe. Hazelnut cream, well, okay. And warming baking spices. The finish is toasty and warming with dark berries fading into ground coffee. Do not like coffee. And cigar spice linger. Do not like cigars. So this whiskey was not made for me. I'm sure other people are going to try this and go, wow, this is fantastic. This is exactly what I want. And WhiskyJason tries and goes, ooh, not what I wanted more of this, with some sweetness added from the cognac, maybe a tiny little bit of oak added, a little pinch of oak, but this has much more oak than I wanted. It doesn't have to, it's not over oaked, but it does have more of what I don't want. All right, let's go to the Glencadam 10, which I enjoy, which I like, which I can recommend. This is one of the best authentic whiskeys out there at the moment. 10-year-old, 46%, non-chilled filtered, no coloring added, at a price to sell. At least over here in Germany, I can get this for 40, 42, 44, maybe now 48. They have a new importer, and they charge a little bit more. But hey, this is a fantastic, fantastic whiskey for what you're being offered. 46%. There's alcohol there, but this is a sharpness, this is a heat, this is a bite. This is a supporting moment. As I mentioned before, I have a tiny little bit more of a mineral type of moment, a little bit of a chalky type of nice, oily citrus moment. It says here in the back, so rounded elegance, clean, crisp citrus tones, a pleasing harmony between a natural sweetness and the soft, spicy oak, long and smoothing, rich, clean barley, and gritty sweetness. So you have a wonderful harmony here of the wood, of the sweetness. Well done. I really, really enjoy the Glencadam 10. Going back to the Glencadam 14 Cognac Reserve, the price just shocks me. 84 euros. That's going to be over $100 for this 14-year-old, and in my personal tasting experience, it's of less of a lower quality than the 10-year-old. Yes, there is that cognac moment. Yes, there is that woody Limousin moment, but those were not things that I were actually. really hit the exact what I wanted. I'm just going to put 3 drops of water in here, try it one last time. I'm still going to give this a solid C for the value for money. I'm going to give it a D. This is not something I'd go out and buy. There is a port cask that is just hit the market over here as well. It's a single cask and it runs in the area of 61.6%. It was bottled also 2020. It was distilled 2006. So it's only 13 years old in this case, but it's 61.6%. And it was 129. That's going to be one of my next videos that I'm going to do. I hope that is more along my palate. Glencadam is a really nice distillery. Go out there, find stuff. Go with it. Let's see here. What do I have? Do I have something I can... Nope, can't pull it down at the moment. There's going to be a little gap in the production as well with, I think it's the 18 or the 21-year-old. It's going to go away for a year or two because they were closed for a year or two. Yeah. With water, it's definitely a C. All right, good. Question of the day, what is your favorite Glencadam or Emmental that is not the 10-year-old from Glencadam? With a little bit of water, I might actually go for a C+ with water. Not too much water, just a couple drops might actually tickle out that cognac moment and reduce the tannins a tiny little bit. Yeah, let's go for a C to C+. All right, my value for money is still going to stay with a D, D+. 84 euros is a lot, I think. All right, what is your favorite bottle from Glencadam or Emmental that is not the 10? What can you recommend? What is out there that is really, really good? Thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe, tell others, share this video with someone, subscribe, and say, hey, watch this guy over here in Europe tasting whiskey I'm never going to see, never going to get my hands on. Every once in a while, I'll do something that's almost normal, but many of the bottles are, as in this case, a limited edition 4,800 bottles. All the best, Whiskey Jason here. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.